Okay, how's it going, everybody? This is Ryan here from Plus on Block. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and let's jump right into it. So on the screen, you guys will be seeing some gameplay footage of the promotional event of Daigo facing Furo. Now, for those of you that don't know who these guys are well-known fighting game players in the fighting game community, obviously with Street Fighter being the most prominent game that these guys are known for. But obviously, if you clicked on this video, I'm going to be explaining why Granblue is going to be a perfect game for beginners to hop into and for beginners to have fun with. So without further ado, let's start talking about it. So as you guys can see on the screen right now, there is a tip section that was also shown during the live stream, and basically it says skills can be activated with the press of a single button. You can also input commands manually to shorten the skill cooldown. So the reason why this is going to be very good for both seasoned fighting game players as well as new players is because a lot of people that will be coming into Granblue, especially in the very beginning for Granblue Versus, are going to be people that already play whether it's the card game, the mobile game, whatever it is. That's kind of the realm that they're coming from, right? They're probably not going to be the type of guy that is grinding out a ton of hours in fighting games. So having the ability to kind of make the game a little bit more simple, as I zoom into the picture here, you can see that the 4 abilities that each character has are clearly displayed for everybody to see. So you can see the cooldown, you can know when your opponent has certain moves up. This is very good for beginner players because not only is it visual to see what your opponent has, so you can play more defensively or offensively, you have to respect your opponent, but having the ability to use those moves at a single touch of a button is good because new players will struggle with the Hadouken motion. New players will struggle with the Shoryuken motion or the half circle motion, quarter circle back, whatever it is, right? A full circle motion. New players will struggle with that. Of course, they can adapt, they can learn, they can get better and improve at those things. But like I said, coming from other games, coming from a non-fighting game background, those things can be a little bit daunting. So I think that this is an excellent system to incorporate now for us more seasoned fighting game players, for us that know how to take advantage, or not rather take advantage, but for those of us that know how to do a quarter circle forward motion or a Shoryuken motion, whatever you want to call it. We do get a benefit from it. We get shorter skill cooldowns. Now, of course, is that always going to be beneficial? Maybe not. As we've seen in this stream, Daigo said himself, he said, hey, you know what? I feel like I should have used the instant skills more than the command skills. There are going to be situations where you're going to want that ability to just come out quick and you'll sacrifice the cooldown, but in most situations, right, those of us that are used to having that manual input, that Shoryuken motion, that quarter circle forward motion, it is going to benefit us because we will have our abilities up faster than if we didn't. So it's going to be a good way to ease new players into the game. It's going to allow them to still execute the flashy moves, which is something that Granblue is so known for, their awesome art, their awesome attacks. So that's going to have access to the casual player, but then the more serious player or the person with previous experience is also going to still be able to benefit from that, and they'll also be able to understand where they can take advantage of using the skill with the shortcut. So all in all, I think that that's actually a really good thing that they have in the system. One thing I do want to note is, for me, I would prefer if they had the burst bar or the special bar that you can see at the top out of 100%. I wish that was at the bottom along with the cooldowns at the bottom. I'm hoping, because they are doing beta testing, I'm hoping if they take suggestions, they move it down there, because most fighting games have their resources at the bottom of the screen. So it is a little bit awkward to look at resources at the top of the screen now. I'm sure it's something that I would easily get used to, or a lot of people can easily adjust to, but in the beginning stages, I mean, most definitely it will be weird to kind of look at. Another really cool tip that I do want to mention in this video as well is that they mentioned that you can pull off evasive maneuvers with the press of a single button. You can also guard with a guard button or by holding back, which is how we know how to do it in regular fighting games. Now, having a guard button for a lot of people, it might piss them off. It might say, oh, it makes the game a little bit too easy. But once again, I would like to mention that it is very important to have something like this for those new players that are coming from the mobile game, that do want to try out this game because they like the mobile game and they want to support Granblue and they see these cool moves, right? You know, for them, holding down back, holding, you know, back, trying to block overheads, things like that, it might be something that they might struggle with. So right off the bat, having that feature is going to be beneficial for them. Another thing to note, guys, is as players that kind of have more knowledge and more comfortability with fighting games, that guard button can also still be used to our advantage, right? Blocking cross-ups, blocking overheads that we might not be able to react to right away. But another thing to note that works in the benefit of a player that has played fighting games before is having the ability to still have a button press ready on demand when you're blocking with your directional inputs, right? Obviously, when you are holding guard, you can't press any button. In any game that has like a guard button, in a fighting game, your movements are extremely limited, whereas if you're using directional inputs, you can have a lot more fluidity. So that's going to be a plus minus. It's going to be one of those things where, yes, it's going to be easier for new players, but it is going to take more of a risk for a more seasoned player when you're facing more seasoned opponents to use that guard button than to use the directional inputs. So overall, I think that the guard button, whether it's evasive maneuvers helping you forward dash, or if they have instant overheads, whatever that is, I think them having that in single buttons with a guard button as well, and you couple that with the fact that special moves have access to having shortcuts for new players, but also there's a benefit if you use the manual commands. For me, I think that's really good. I really like the direction where Granblue Versus is going. I think it's positive. I know some people might think it's negative, but overall, I think it's pretty good. So I'm excited for this. I really think that this will be good for new players to jump into, whether you're new to Granblue, whether you're new to fighting games. I think that it's a good opportunity to step in, see if you like it, and if you do like this and it is your first fighting game, you might want to branch out to other anime fighters, right? I would highly recommend Dragon Ball FighterZ. I would also highly recommend Eunice, Under Night in Birth. But I would highly recommend those two games if you do end up liking these ones. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video, just remember you are watching this on Plus on Block, so don't press any buttons unless you're hitting that like button or that subscription, or I just stumbled over my words. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I'm human. Hey man, I must have pressed a button, man. I must have got opened up. Do not press any buttons. This is Plus on Block, but only press them if you are hitting that like button or that subscribe button. It's Ryan once again, and I'm out. Have a good one.